Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I'm Ahura Z, your host this evening, and this is my stalwart sidekick, Nirakazi.
Hello, this is episode 84, and it is May 24th, 2016.
And how are you all this evening? I hope you had a pleasant Tuesday, even though it was kind of gray in Maine, which is not really anything different. But as I said earlier, welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I will answer questions, any questions regarding the metaphysical, the spiritual, the paranormal, or the mystical. However, there are two types of questions that I do not answer. That is whether or not someone is going to die or whether or not someone is cheating on someone. If you want to ask questions about people in that particular nature, then you should probably deal with the people that you're asking about. Other than that, almost any question is fair game, and just as long as everyone can benefit from it and is of a positive nature. Now, if you're having problems in your life, I can help you with that. As you all know, I am what you call a telepath. Does that mean that I walk around answering silly questions like, what do you have in your pocket? And stuff like that? No. And I recommend that no one that has a gift such as mine or any type of a psychic gift answers those kinds of questions. They are demeaning and they are insulting and they're mere parlor tricks. Now, before we get into the show this evening, I'd like to send a shout out to all of my friends out there that are in the independent film industry in New England and that are working very diligently to bring you good entertainment. Paco Seth Roberts, Alan Dillingham, Bill McLean, and a whole bunch of other people, including myself. And we're working very hard to bring you original works that will entertain you. So keep an eye out for things that are made by some of the people that I've just mentioned, including myself. Now, I'm looking forward to a very positive and very bright show this evening. Now, all of my shouts out being shouted out.
We have viewer shout outs.
Viewers shouting out. You're stepping on the cord, your computer cord. Okay. Who is it?
Shout out to Angie, Chandler, Miyoko, and Carrie, Heath, Michelle, and Maven, Shayna, and Tavari.
Romper, stomper, bumper, boot. That's what it always feels like, romper room at the end of the show. She always puts up her magic mirror that wasn't really there and says everybody's name. Well, I'll just shout to everyone, hey!
I wasn't born yet for that show.
I know that.
I was born after that show.
Way after that show.
But I know what you speak of vaguely.
Anyway, so all of that being said, we are ready for a wonderful time. The unicorn is in. I'm listening.
No questions yet.
No questions yet.
No questions.
Okay, so that means that I get to talk, and I know how much you.
The mystery of who Smiley is. That's right. I'm calling you out. Who you is?
She's Smiley.
Or is it a he?
No.
He or she. Evidently, we know them.
Yes, we do know them.
Who's Smiley?
And they know us too.
Who's Smiley?
Doesn't matter.
Tell
does
me.
It?
Yes, it does.
No. They obviously wanted to remain anonymous.
So.
God. Kazi watches way too much anime. Just so you all know.
Don't get me started.
She's an anime freak.
I just finished watching a really funny one.
Me, I'm an anime enthusiast. One day I'm going to build my own anime robot.
Your dog is enthusiastically chewing on her bone.
Yeah. Lane, knock it off. What are you typing?
Okay.
So anyway, today we had an interesting meeting. I had to take some of the things from the bakery to the, I think it was Maine Food Health Services.
People that are responsible for the kitchen service. No, I do, for the food service in the Maine medical.
In the New England area, actually. And we had a pretty good meeting. It was very, very positive. They really liked our bread, and they liked our products, and hopefully we'll get a lot of orders, and then we'll be very, very rich, and then we'll be able to expand all over the world, and I will be able to compete with stupid little companies like Stinky Joe's.
We should go to Hawaii, because Hawaii could deal with low sodium.
You just want to do hula. I know why you want to go to Hawaii, and I'm going to Hawaii. I already told you that.
Sherry is on. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry. How are you? Well, it's good to see all of you people. I hope you're having a great week. It looks like a lot of that Mars energy has kind of calmed down, so you should be thinking a little clearer now. And for those of you that are not thinking a little clearer, if you just kind of go within yourself and concentrate on the things that are in front of you to do, you'll feel a lot better. That goes for Mercury too. Mercury just likes to screw with people. I've heard people read about people earlier on Facebook that are having a very hard time with their posts and their phones and all of that kind of thing. That's just pure Mercury. It just loves messing with people. Every once in a while, you just need to look up and tell Mercury, get out of the way, okay? And hopefully you'll have a better time. Now, there are a lot of events that are happening in the world, and we might as well do that. So I'll do a little bit of the news for you all, because I kind of have a different rendition of the news. Here's the news. Negativity happens, and it has been happening in this world because of negative people, and negative people who think that being negative is a great thing. Now, also positive things have been happening. Those things are usually not in the news. Someone saved a puppy today. Someone saved someone else's life today. A child was born. Maybe a bunch of children were born today. Someone actually got paid today. Someone got better. There's people who have survived cancer. A lot of people have found ways to use limbs that were not there. People have found their lives. They have discovered themselves. They have awakened. They have decided that they are going to be a universal servant, and they have decided to turn around and help people. Those are the positive things that need to be announced. I'm not much for politics this evening, so I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the horrible state of anything. I want to talk about the positive things that we can do to help each other and help each other move on and to grow. I think that we're at a wonderful place, and that place being that we can decide which way we're going to go. We're going to be positive. We're going to help humanity. That should be the direction that you want to go. Also, if there's some goals in your life that you thought that you missed the opportunity to reach, you should reconsider and go for those goals. Not only go for them, but succeed at them. If there's some dreams that you wanted to fulfill, you should decide to fulfill them. It's never too late. You're breathing, so do what it is that you need to do. If there's some adventure that you want to go have them. Create your world. I want
to go on an adventure.
You are an adventure, Kazi.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You are the adventure of Ahura and Kazi.
Oh, God.
Come on, let's sing.
No.
We are the world.
No.
Anyway, I hope you all find some goals. Now, I'm waiting for some questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions. If there's some concerns that you want to talk about, I'll be happy to assist you with those as well. So give me your questions. That's what I'm here for. I know you all like to hear me talk. Knock it off. Just stop it.
What?
Just stop it.
I'm gonna sneeze. Trying not to sneeze.
Look at the light.
No.
Don't go into it now.
Freaking light is already black.
Oh, yeah. That kind of brings me to a point. Hey, have you all noticed the patterns of a lot of the movies lately? I mean, for those of you that are filmmakers like myself, you kind of get tired of the same old garbage over and over and over again. They are making yet another version, probably of Spider-Man, but they totally ruined Batman for me. I've seen too many versions of Batman. Frankenstein no longer holds any charm, because I've actually seen, I have Xbox Video and Microsoft Video now, and they had two different renditions of Frankenstein on at the same time. It was just stupid. You know, there have been a rash of films that were once guys that they're making girls, which is totally unoriginal.
The Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Why?
It's so stupid. And
just leave it as an 80s classic.
No, they just need to stop making films for women that are like replacing the guys. It's kind of uninventive and insulting. Why not give women their new original roles? I mean, instead of deciding, well, we're going to do Captain America, we're going to make her a girl, though. And that's new and exciting. The sad part is that there are actually women that go for that kind of garbage. You know, it's like, oh, girl, here's a concession. You know, let's throw you all a bone. We're going to replace Thor with a woman and call her Thea.
What?
That's so lame.
Chris Hemsworth did a good job as Thor.
I know he did a great job.
Iron Woman.
That's lame again.
I don't know if it's true.
What about She-Hulk? But if you're gonna do She-Hulk, make her actually a woman that has a body and not someone who looks like another boy. You know, just
muscle.
You know, it's okay for women to have muscle and curves. You know, curves are okay. Curves are great, as a matter of fact. So why not, you know, like that Superman? They should call her Superboy.
Superman?
Yeah, Supergirl. They call her Superboy. Because Ally McBeal.
What?
Yes.
Supergirl.
Okay, and listen.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Women deserve their own roles. I mean, I should write. Wait, I am writing one, aren't I? I should write a superhero female role, just to show them how it's done. Okay, I'm doing that with Valkyrie. It's just taking me a really long time to do it.
Really?
Well, it is, but
I've noticed.
That's okay. It takes people years to do a film. It's not unusual. Isn't that Ally McBeal?
It is.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Okay, like some real roles for women, you know, and I don't mean the same old crap. A woman and her daughter. A woman who strives to save her daughter. A woman who will fight off the forces of hell to save her daughter. I mean, real roles. I mean, real ones. This is crap. Like that girl, Jessica Jones, the one they casted for Jessica Jones.
Oh my God, she has shoulder pads.
Yeah, I know.
That's so insulting. Oh my God. You mean you couldn't fucking... Oh,
hey, watch your mouth.
I'm sorry. You couldn't pay her to train to... That's just insulting to people.
Yes, it is insulting.
To women who bodybuild and just...
to women who just want to stay in shape, you know? And to women who actually have curves that are really strong. You know, this is what I'm saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to get into a big rant and cause you a hot hit. So,
Michelle says hi. Shelly says hi.
Hello.
Rebecca's on.
Who?
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
Michelle.
You said that already.
Heath says, "Hey, bro. I personally don't really like the superhero movies, but have you noticed that many of the new series are about the supernatural? People are waking up, and I think many of them seem to be very artistic. Any thoughts, bro?"
Well, I was just saying what I thought. I mean, they may delve into the supernatural, but they're really not interested in the supernatural at all, other than to make a buck. And, you know, there's, what's that guy? Cumberbatch? Benedict Cumberbatch, what a name. That is doing Doctor Strange, who was one of my favorite comic books. I don't think that he'll do a bad job. I mean, he's a great actor. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Kind of looks like Pinocchio on crack, but he's still a great actor, you know. I think he'll do a great job. But I would like to see, and just like all of us, we would like to see, if you're going to have someone that's actually a superhero, cast them as a superhero and make them actually look strong. Like, I would have totally cast the Avengers differently than they are. Totally. cast the Avengers differently than they are. And this one Captain America Civil War, and the Black Panther is in it, which is awesome. But I still would have cast someone different for him. You know, they made him a real short guy. You know, but it's just what it is. You know, back on there.
What?
Stop doing that.
Too bad.
Okay, so that's just what I think about the films. I mean, I think that Hollywood is extremely uninventive, and they just throw a bunch of superhero movies with a lot of effects. Okay, great. They have a lot of money, and they like throwing it around. But how about giving it to some different people so that people can actually make great films or make good films that actually have a storyline and not just a bunch of people flying around wielding powers and stuff like that. You know, although that's all cool. I know that there are other Polynesian actors besides The Rock, even though The Rock is cool.
Okay.
There are
Don't go.
other African American actors or African. Wait, he's British, isn't he?
He says, no, you're missing what I'm asking. Do you think that there's a correlation between waking up and being artistic?
No, I don't. I think that people who are asleep can be artistic. I think that a lot of people are waking up. There's not really a correlation. You can be born, you can be artistic and still be asleep. Now, if you're talking about heading into the spiritual realm, using your artistic nature to enhance yourself spiritually, there might be a correlation that way. But as far as the film industry goes, it's all just to make a buck. So I don't think that the film industry is waking up, or people in the film industry are waking up. I do, however, believe that a person who is artistic can awaken. You have to be partially awakened in the first place to be artistic. You know, it's just that way. You have those centers open to begin with. But there's a marked thing that happens when someone spiritually awakens. Then there are a lot of people who think that they're artistic, and that's fine, that are spiritually awakened, that just don't possess the teleplates to do it, or the equipment to do it. Like, there are tons of people who really love to sing, and they just love to sing, you know, and they may have been spiritually awakened and they really want to sing, but they just don't have the pipes to do so. You know, it's kind of like an organ is an organ. You can't really play a washboard like an organ. You can try. It's just that way. Like my beautiful daughter here dances beautifully. She dances magnificently, and she can play the cello and a few other instruments, but
What? But what?
she tries to sing.
I can't sing. I don't try to sing. I don't sing. I don't sing.
She tries.
No.
Yes, you do.
I do Hawaiian chanting. Hawaiian singing, which only consists of 4 notes. I don't sing. I don't know
Yes, we
myself
know,
as
we
a
know.
singer. What are you talking about?
I'm just, what?
I don't tell people I sing.
I didn't say you did.
I don't try to sing.
Yes, you do. I
No,
hear
I
you all
don't.
the time. And yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah? Next time I'm gonna tape you.
Fat chance.
But she does all these wonderful things.
I chant.
I, on the other hand, do sing. And I've sang ever since I was born. And that's just how it is. There are other people out there that can sing too, you know, that have not awakened. Still waiting for them to awaken.
Angie Chandler says, she says, people that I never would dreamed of are waking up, and vice versa.
It's just how it is.
And Shelley says, in regards to the film, and she says, yes, and leave someone that is like a Tibetan master, a man that is Tibetan and not a white woman. And
That's a whole nother thing I'm just not going to get into.
Stephen Lucia is on.
Yeah. Hey, Stephen. How you doing?
And Shelley says, to tell you that the film, the remake of The Crow, they're going bankrupt and the actors have been jumping ship. She says, gee, I wonder why. Maybe this should be a sign.
Maybe. It's been done too many times. Leave it alone. Let it go. You know, now Hollywood doesn't get that. They'll do a film over and over and over again and sequel the death out of it. Just sequel it to death. Just leave it go. It's okay. I think what that does to people at large, though, is it only tells them that there's only spaghetti to eat. You know, instead of giving them different choices. You know, there's all kinds of things that could be made, all kinds of creative ventures that they could be, but they picked a certain amount of people that they will give every single thing to. We need to get rid of the old standbys and the lies. You know, it's kind of like you take a movie that is very, very good, really quite good, and just because the lead actor may be an ethnic person or a person of color, put it that way, because everybody's ethnic, tell everyone that, well, you know, the box offices don't really support someone who's of color. And that's not true. It's just that the people who promote it don't promote it correctly. So no one really even knows that the film is there. And by the time they find the film, it's already gone because of the underground promotion or that undercurrent anti-promotion movement. You know, the fact is, if you promote people well, they'll be very, very popular. If you promote a movie well, it will be very, very popular. Look at Blair Witch Project. What a piece of crap. That had to be, hands down, the crappiest movie I ever saw. However, it made tons of money, and that was just because of the way that they promoted it. So they did well. The second movie, they could have done without, seriously, honestly speaking. It just didn't make any damn sense. But if we can get rid of those old myths, if we can get rid of things like racism and sexism in film, I think that it will be okay. If we can get rid of repetition and start promoting creativity, which is another thing. Listen, the idea was to promote beauty, not youth. We promote youth here way too much, okay? And then as a result, we have a very limited vocabulary, so to speak, okay? I'm all for supporting youth, but I'm also for supporting seasoned. You know, those people that are very talented actors that are not 20-something, that are very magnificent, even though they're not teenagers anymore. Really, seriously, I get tired of seeing roles that I know should be for an adult given to a kid. I just don't. I don't like it. You know, so perhaps those things will change. Anyway, enough about movies, unless you all have questions for me of a spiritual nature or metaphysical or paranormal or mystical nature. Any questions whatsoever? Do you guys enjoy talking about movies? Because I do. I mean,
Miley mentioned Grimm.
Grimm?
Earlier. Yeah.
Oh, the show Grimm?
New series about.
I think the show Grimm is actually very good. I watched it for several seasons. It's kind of typical, but it's actually good writing.
What was the other one you watched? Sleepy Hollow?
Oh, Sleepy Hollow. That was so typical.
It got boring.
Yeah, it did. It got really boring.
You stopped watching it really quickly.
Well, it got boring. I mean, look, I need to say this, okay? And I just have to say this. I am so tired of every freaking series and every movie, no matter what it is, doing that, let's sacrifice a black guy. And if we can't find a black guy to sacrifice, let's sacrifice a black girl. Or let's sacrifice an Asian person.
No, the Asian man.
Yeah, the Asian male. Always the Asian male. And now let's take the Asian woman and pair her with the white guy. It's just so typical. I'm tired of typical.
Or the.
How about we do something different? How about we make it so that we don't even have to deal with that kind of thing, okay? And just give equal roles to everyone. I saw the trailer for this one, and I was going to see this film called The Kingsman, And it was obviously written for a person who should have been black, but of course they couldn't have that because I guess he wasn't British enough.
Is this a series?
No, it was a film.
Talking about Idris.
No, that is another thing. When people started protesting Idris playing James Bond, James Bond is a fictional character, which basically means that he can be anybody. Idris is British. Whether he's black or white should have never even come into question. Now, if you have someone who historically or who actually lived be white, then it would make absolutely no sense to have a black person playing that. Or if you have someone who's black, it would make absolutely no sense to have a white person playing it, and it would actually be rather insulting, although they did it with Jesus for years, and Moses, and Esau, and a whole host of people. Then there is, what's that show? The Gods of Egypt.
Oh, that movie, that crabby movie.
Yeah, the Gods of Egypt. They're
all British. White. They're all British, white British.
And the people under them are all people of color, which
I'm sorry. Since when did people in Egypt were so fair and start speaking with a British accent?
Well, after British and European invasion.
Right.
But I mean, I enjoy everyone having a good role. You know, everyone, but I'm kind of tired of seeing the sacrificial black guy. Can we just, no more, okay? No more. And actually, I have a bone to pick with actors that actually take those kinds of roles, or actresses that actually take those kinds of roles. You are making everybody look bad. You are helping them be racist. You are helping them. For women that take roles of a prostitute or someone who gets, nude. Yeah, or nude, or someone who gets molested or this, you are helping them do films like that. You are creating that for yourself and also for your freaking daughters, for God's sake. I mean, we wouldn't have a lot of people like the whole thing with Miley Cyrus or if you don't like Nicki Minaj, we wouldn't even have those kinds of things if we didn't entertain them. I mean, great, they're both, you know, attractive women that have some modicum of talent, and they really do, and that's just the bottom line. But to excuse all of their,
no, they don't.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah, you have to give them that.
Miley Cyrus has no talent.
Miley Cyrus can sing.
No, she has no
yes,
talent.
She can. She has some talent. She's also a good actress, but she's stupid. And I would say the same thing for Nicki Minaj. That
You've always liked Nicki Minaj.
Beautiful woman. She's just absolutely stunning.
With her fake booty.
Whatever.
Fake.
I don't care.
Booty.
I don't care.
Fake.
But when she opens her mouth, demons fly out. I mean, I look at that woman, I go, oh, she's just so gorgeous. And then, rah, you know, and all of these women that are walking around, I agree. Beyonce is very, very beautiful. And she is innovative and talented and all that good stuff, but you cannot live your life based on what she says or what she sings. You can't do that. I mean, let's look at all of the actors and actresses that get excused for doing atrocious things, absolutely magnificently atrocious things because they're famous. And what do? We make up excuses for them. I mean, that's enough. And then, you know, we have someone who gets mad because they didn't get this role, or someone who gets mad because someone played this role. That's enough of that stuff, okay? All of that if we want entertainment, then we actually have to have entertainment. If we want people who are just going to go and be hoodlums, fine. If you don't like seeing the black guy get killed all the time, you know, this big, powerful, strong person that goes and he's the sacrificial lamb. What the hell is that? Seriously, first off, I would like my 5 minutes to jump in any film. I'd like to have that superpower. I can jump into any film and slap the hell out of the person that comes up with a stupid idea in the film, like in horror movies, because, you know, I really like horror movies.
Let's split up.
Yeah, let's split up. As soon as someone said, let's split up, before they got the next word out, I'd jump in and slap the hell out of them and tell them, what do you mean, let's split up? No, we're not splitting up. Oh, why are you running back upstairs? No, You run it back upstairs. What happens if there's a Ahura pops in the movie and slaps the hell out of you? Okay. Now the world is about to end. There's a meteor flying, and this person has to hit a switch so that they can blow up the meteor. But his girlfriend wants to talk about having a baby. At that particular moment.
At that moment, they decide to make.
Or they decide to make out. What the hell? No, they get slapped, both of them. Okay. If we don't want to see certain things in film, perhaps what we should do is either totally take over the film industry or stop taking those stupid roles. Okay? You can't complain about Hollywood being racist if you're going to take the roles. You can't complain about Hollywood being sexist if you're going to take those roles. Are you telling me that your need to be seen on the screen is more important than you saying, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to have sex with this hideously ugly mofo on screen. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay? Or no, I speak English. I'm not going to get on that screen and speak like an idiot just because you want me to. Just because you think that, this is the way that we portray Hispanic people, or this is the way we portray Black people, or this is the way that we portray Chinese people or Asian people, or and there's only one type of Asian, so it's the one that knows martial arts. Okay. That's stupid. Or math, martial arts or math. Okay. No, the Black guy is not always the shortest. Sorry. Okay, you can't sit there and do every single thing to make it look like the one white male is always the one that is the supreme one, or get really creative. So there's one film where they had Ben Kingsley, who I really, really like, playing the part of a Maori guy because they couldn't find any Maori people or any Polynesian people at all. Okay. I don't hate Ben Kingsley, first off, because he's really cool. But the whole premise of the movie was to say it was about this new breed of human that was going to save the world from these aliens. It was a totally new breed. And they even say that this is something that no one has ever seen.
The Maori people.
No.
Save the world. Oh God.
Okay, no, it wasn't that. No, Ben Kingsley played the Maori person in it.
Scary.
But it was, and I'm expecting, okay, so there's going to be someone different this time, and it wasn't. It was not. It was the little white kid that played Aang in the last Avatar, with his hair this time. And blue eyes, white kid. And that was supposed to be different? Seriously? Okay, this is what I'm saying. We've got to stop accepting roles like, if we stop accepting roles like that, then they have to change them. Okay, it's all right to actually speak English if you're a brother. It's okay to be professional and not have to compromise yourself if you're a sister. It's okay not to be the exotic sex toy if you're Asian female. And it's okay to not know martial arts if you're an Asian male. Also, it's okay not to be a drug dealer if you're a Hispanic male. Or to be a really mean person who gets all exotic, or gets all exotic if you're a Hispanic female. It's okay. As a matter of fact, we can all have these wonderful roles. Great, this Black guy is really powerful and strong, but he's going to sacrifice his life because that's the way that we wrote it into the script, because that's all that can ever happen with him.
We have a few questions.
Okay, what?
Shelley mentioned how.
That's what you guys get for not asking me questions. All I'll do is rant.
Yeah, questions. Okay. Shelley mentioned, how about Daredevil? She wondered if the second season was better.
I think the second season is okay, except for there's always this, and it's ironic, it's always blonde. This blonde woman that really is the weakest character in the whole thing, that somehow gets all empowered and starts bossing everybody around. Even the Daredevil, who's out saving the world, and she's, this is not your city. You can't do this. Blah, 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 blah. That's just stupid. And then there is the Asian female in it that actually is.
There's an Asian in
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Yeah, and she's actually really cool.
Yeah,
Oh, she's half Asian, but she plays part of Elektra. Anyway, Elektra's really cool. This woman's kind of weak, but she actually does
Asian.
more. Yes, she is. She actually does more fighting than anything. But all of a sudden, this blonde person decides that it's okay to yell and scream and push people around, and nobody ever does anything back. I'm Daredevil. I'm out saving people, and this person shows up and starts pushing me like she's going to get slapped. And I'll just say, oh, I didn't see you.
All right, we have questions.
Okay.
Lucia says, Ahura, my future self at age 35 has been communicating with me, sort of as a spirit guide, and I've been seeing him. What does this mean? And can you expand on what is going on with this?
Well, obviously, you just kind of said what is. It's you in your future that has been talking to you, which I told you is very, very possible because there are thousands of different versions of you at different times. Okay. Evidently, what you should do is listen to the instruction of that particular person. Now understand that that's only one dimension of that. There could be a whole bunch of other dimensions of that very same being that is telling you what to do, or giving you whatever instruction or giving you whatever advice that it has to offer you. This is just something that is very, very, very natural and very par for the course. If you can glean something from that, say, oh, okay, and then go ahead and do it. He's obviously trying to lead you in a certain direction. Okay, so don't be alarmed by it. It happens. I told you, you have many lateral lives as well as future lives, as well as past lives. You got fortunate enough to actually be able to talk to someone from your future. If I were you, I would ask questions. I would ask whatever it is that I needed to ask. For instance, what are you doing now? Okay, are you in any better position than I am right now? Are you be you of light, be you of darkness? You have to ask all of these things. You don't just accept this person is being you. You test this person any way that you possibly can. For instance, if someone showed up that was my future self, I probably already know, but I would actually say certain things or ask certain things to verify, to make sure. Because I do talk to different versions of myself quite often. And they help me solve a lot of problems. So you're kind of getting into that right now. If everyone could do that, we'd all make a lot better decisions. We would make not only a lot better decisions, but we'd be able to exchange data between ourselves. And I do that quite often. It's how I know how to do so many things. I talk to these different people that can do different things, only they do it successfully. And they're not as big a screw up as I am. So I think that you have an opportunity. There's some people that like to call that quantum jumping. I've never really called it that, but I heard that that's what it's called. So, that's actually having discussions and exchanging with different versions of yourself. Now, the cool thing is that it proves to you something. We are all just an echo of ourselves, okay? And that echo is a continuous echo. It doesn't just stop, it keeps going. And depending on which dimensional self that you are able to contact, you can even switch entire teleplates. What I call teleplates are experiences. You can actually switch experiences with another. And sometimes that's defensive. Other times it is advantageous. So remember, I when I do a reading for a person, I actually speak to several versions of themselves in order to give them a solution to a problem. Well, this is what this person did, or this is what that person did, and that worked for them. It's almost the exact same problem. So there's a really good chance that that's going to work for you. Understand this: when you say the future is one of those things that keeps expanding. So you can only follow that person. Your future, if you talk to yourself and today is the 24th, remember, if today is the 24th here, that future is going to move simultaneously, which basically means that you stand the chance of talking to an echo of that future, but it won't be the exact same future. It will be an alternate future. There's always alternates. For instance, you can think several things about one object. Those are all perspectives. If you turn that, then you get a different perspective every single degree of a turn that you make. Well, it works the same with your future. Your future becomes something entirely different with every single turn that you make, or with every single decision, or even every single thought that you validate. Your future becomes different, and it expands, it grows, it branches off. It's kind of like a tree, which is why great philosophers would always ask, when does the tree stop and when does it begin? The roots just as big as the part that we call tree. All of these questions are about the universe and your expansive future and your expansive past. Even your past can be expansive, okay? Because there are things that if you actually change them in your mind from your past, remembering that you are an echo of your future and you're also creating an echo for your past, remembering that those things that you change now could affect something else in your past, which in turn can affect your future and even your now. It's the most amazing network ever. It is an absolute, and this is something that people that like that movie that decided to use that movie and flip it into a term for psychology or psychiatry, whatever, psycho people. They like to call it the butterfly effect, which is valid, which is also very, very true to a degree. Okay. Understanding that to call something quantum means that it has huge expansive possibilities. Okay. Which basically means with every single thought that you think, with every single portion of the thought that you think, so is there an option to your future. That's why when someone says, tell me my future, I look at them and say, no, I can't really tell you your future, because if I tell you your future, you'll probably screw it up if it's something good, or you'll find a way to complicate matters. That's just what we humans do. We love to complicate things, just to find what happens if I do this. Okay. So what you might do is ask some questions, and then remember, your future and your past have one thing in common. Neither one of them are here now. Okay, so you can talk to your future, you can talk to your past, you can talk to those laterals, because those laterals are in their own now moment. But you need to stay here right now and make any decision that you learn or gain from the future now. Any decision that you have gleaned from your past, now. Make your decisions in the now. There's a really good book that you might check out that I read years ago. It's called Be Here Now. You might check that out.
It's interesting. Contra asks, what about living in the now?
I think I just answered that.
I know. I was just reporting back. Okay, we have more questions.
Okay, what do you got? I am so ready.
Real quick, Lucia says that is so true about Nicki Minaj and demons flying out. He's been telling his friends for a while, and that Beyonce doesn't give a good voice to women overall.
Nope.
Smiley says, what's the deal with Himalayan salt? Is it a fad? I've been seeing it sold as lamps.
Yeah, it is a fad. Remember, we love fads. It's really cool because it's pink and you can put it in the lamp and it sends out certain vibrations, but it will do those vibrations with or without the light. It's just salt has this very mystical power. It can actually cut down on astral emanations if you do it right. Now, going out and buying a bunch of Himalayan salt doesn't make you any more special than pouring salt from your Morton salt container. And that's just the truth. It's just that it's a giant concentration of whatever salt is. Okay. And it does thwart and inhibit errant mystical vibrations. That's true. And I think that perhaps because of the concentration, it may lend a few health benefits. But if you can't eat salt, it doesn't make it any difference because it's Himalayan salt. We are very faddish people. We just are. We're more faddish than anyone else. We jump on a fad quicker than anybody. Oh, but it's Himalayan salt. Okay, it's still salt, you know. And then we start this competition. This is Himalayan salt. Oh, well, I have salt from the Dead Sea. Or, well, I have Tibetan salt. You know, it's like kind of like that whole thing when we started doing the whole, people started doing the indigo children thing because they wanted their child to seem more special than someone else's child. And then, well, indigo children weren't good enough. So now they're crystal children. But they refuse to tell you which crystal because there are thousands of them. You know, children are special in their own right. You know, we don't have to do things to complicate their lives. Their lives are complicated enough. They have to deal with us. So yeah, a lot of things are very faddish. Although Himalayan salt is pretty cool. Love the color of it. The sheer vibration of it is very, very bright. It does help, but just the same as any other. If you had a giant chunk of any other salt, you would see that it would be very helpful as well. Just a difference in vibration, vibrational frequency. White salt vibrates very fast. That Himalayan salt doesn't vibrate quite so fast, so it does something very different. Okay.
Leanne has a question.
Sure.
She says, I'm wondering if there's something in the background interfering and preventing me from any good luck. I've been trying for at least 3 years and not catching a break. I was wondering if there's a reason behind it. I feel like every time it looks clear ahead, like it's going to work, something always happens to set me back further.
Well, we've talked about a lot of the things that you're going through. There are all kinds of things that will get in your way. Now, I will say this again, remembering that we love to talk about energy as being a whole, and energy should always be a whole. But remember, there are two sides to that energy that we have created. Okay, there's that side of good and that side of evil or bad or negativity or whatever you want to call it. And that side that we call good wants to support us, okay, and to help us to thrive and succeed at every single thing. But you have to be aware that if there is success, there is also failure. If there is good, there's also bad. If there is benevolent, there is also evil. And you have to take those into consideration, that both of these have become a force and they have a life of their own. So at the same time as there's that wonderful energy that is trying to get you to push ahead, to give you what it is that you need, and so you can be successful, you must take into consideration that there is that side that wants to do everything that it possibly can to defeat you. And if you deny that side and deny the reality of that side, it will get you. Okay? You have to be aware of it constantly. It doesn't mean that you have to dwell in it. It just merely means that you must be aware of it and take certain steps to avoid it being in your life, or take certain steps to banish it, to get rid of it, and to do that on a daily basis. So is it bad luck? It may be bad luck. There's some rules to follow. And I repeat these rules a lot, and I'll repeat these rules again if it will help you. 1, make sure who you're receiving something from. And if you give someone something, make sure they give you something back. 2, if someone takes something from you or gives you something, you make sure you give them something, okay? 3, make sure that you're eating okay. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of fluids or water. Make sure that you have some spiritual input into your life. And make sure that you're fully aware of the world at large, okay? A lot of us like to emerge into this great spiritual awakening, yet understand that you have to understand that, yes, there's that spiritual awakening and it is very, very valid, but this world has been awake a long time and demands your attention, okay? So remember, you fly as high as you want to. Just don't forget that you have to land on this earth at some point in time. Okay? Don't forget that. Stay grounded. Do everything you can to stay grounded. If there is a negative influence around you, get rid of it. Period. Don't make excuses for it. Get rid of it. Okay? And then all of that, excuse me, all of that negative energy that is thwarting you will gradually disappear. Okay, and like I said, we have talked about some things, and you can probably come to the bakery and see me again. But you have to do things on a daily basis. You're doing an awful lot right now. And since you're doing an awful lot, there are going to be a lot more challenges than someone who is not doing anything. So keep your head up and keep going forward. No matter what it looks like, you've got to keep going forward. Okay? Hope that helps you out. What else have you got for me?
Rayu asks a question.
Who?
Rayu. Yeah? Rayu.
Oh, okay.
Rayu.
What's the question?
Is there any significance when you dream of going to certain places and later you find yourself dreaming it again, almost like a continuation? For example, I dreamed that my girlfriend and I stayed at a non-existent relative's house. She has no family. And months later, I had another dream going to the same house again. I only remembered that I've dreamed of this place before. Okay, that's one of those dimensional realities that I was talking about. Okay, if that's happening on a continuous basis, that means that you and another version of yourself are communing. Also, that means that there is a place physically that exists that would bring about that convergence or whatever it is that's being held for you. Okay, so if I were you, I would search for that place. It's just a good thing to do. Search for that place to see what it is that you can actually find. It'll lead you on. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. You're looking for yourself or parts of yourself. Okay, and as far as being there with your girlfriend, that may be also her energy. If the two of you are there together and you have a close relationship, so. There are so many things that go into something like that. I suggest you look and see if a place like that actually exists. Okay? And if not, kind of follow the instruction that I gave Stephen earlier. There are ways to become lucid in your dream so that you can actually find out what that's about. I don't mean astral travel. That's really dangerous, and I would not suggest that you do that. However, there are ways. The next time you go to sleep, and you have to think about what you might have been feeling the night before you had that dream. Okay? See if you said you had it a couple of times. See if both of those nights you did something similar, or you felt a certain way, or you caused yourself to feel a certain way. And if you can trace how you felt, see if you can recreate it again. And chances are you may have that dream. Okay, or something similar to it. At that particular moment, the first thing that I want you to do is look at a part of your body. Most people look at their hands. And don't get all excited and say, I'm dreaming, because you'll wake up. Okay, it'll end. Just keep your calm, look, and then look around calmly. Okay, if you have enough lucidity to see your hands, that means that you have enough lucidity to look around calmly. Don't get all excited. Just be calm, okay? Because the moment you get excited, your body will react. And that will wake you up, okay? So try that. Try that. Just a simple exercise. Another thing that you can do is I always give people an apple exercise, and I will tell them to find an apple or get an apple and just look at it, feel it, smell it, don't eat it, and just sit it on your nightstand or someplace that you can see it while you're laying down, and look at it and count backwards from 99 to 1. Now, don't be too anal about the count, okay? Because if you get all anal about it, you'll sit there and go 99, 98, 97, 96, 98. 52. Yeah, 52. 1.
And then you go, it didn't work. That's because you're thinking too much about it. Just relax. If you fall asleep, it's okay.
It's not okay, because then you can't find you.
It's okay. Now, remember, if you get there and you're all anal about it, you may not find the apple. You may find a picture of an apple. You may find the word apple. You may see the mag symbol. You may just see someone, you may hear someone say apple in your dream. That's finding the apple.
Smell an apple.
Do you understand? Or you may smell the scent of apple. That's finding the apple. Do you understand? Finding the apple does not mean to see a red apple or a green apple. It merely means find the apple. Okay? At that particular moment, you'll experience that lucidity. And then you just calmly look at your hands. And you can even say, oh, I'm dreaming. Got it. And then look around. Don't get all excited. I'm dreaming! Okay? So there's some simple exercises for you. They usually work. And if they don't work the first time, don't get all discouraged. You know, don't just because something doesn't work the first time that you do it, that doesn't mean that, oh, it doesn't work for me. No, it doesn't work. No. It merely means try it again and try different ways of doing it. Okay, perhaps you're not relaxed enough. Perhaps you're too tense. Perhaps you had that extra cup of ice cream that you knew you shouldn't have had.
What?
You know,
you can't have ice cream.
Yeah, you can.
Ice
Or
cream
perhaps-
before bed is awesome.
Yeah.
I promote this.
Fine.
I endorse
Okay,
it.
or perhaps it's just the conditions weren't right. You know, just try it again and relax. Okay, and then see what you come up with. And then let me know. Hope that helps you. What do you got?
Melissa says, Heath and I had birds fly into the window of our home today. Any type of an omen, there were 3. I know sometimes things just happen, but just asking. Thanks, Z.
Did they just flew in and then they didn't do anything? They just flew in and flew out?
Did they crash?
What kind of birds were they? No.
And
Most times that can be a good thing. It means the energy in your home is open enough that it doesn't interfere with anything, or that your energy is not being contentious with anything, and it's giving you verifications. You said that there were 3 of them, however. 2 of them? Okay. 3 of them means that there's a possible visitor. That's usually what that means. Yeah. Now that can be interpreted in several different ways. One could mean that there's a child that is on its way. And if that is not a possible thing, then that means that you could get a visitor soon. So I don't know what kind of plans you all have. I'm just telling you. So it could be a good thing. But if the birds crashed into the window or hurt themselves, then that's probably not a great thing. It means that a cleansing of your home might be in order. Did they say it?
no, Leanne says, okay, I get it. I do want to stop by and talk when I have a minute. Thank you.
Okay.
Samantha asks, what do you think of the whole Nibiru thing? It's my latest fascination. Ha ha ha.
Well, the whole Nibiru thing is very, very valid. I've told people about Nibiru for the past, or here in Maine, I've told people for the past 16, 17 years about Nibiru. And I didn't really call it Nibiru. I just called it a planet. There's a planet out there that's coming towards us. And the fact that you can see that planet with your naked eye and you couldn't 15 years ago should get everyone concerned. You know, that means that there's something flying towards us at an incredible speed that is getting closer and closer and closer. Now, if it happens to get further and further away, okay, that's just a passing. It is a very valid thing. No matter what anyone says to you, it's just real. In fact, I think that there were other planets in our solar system that only come around once in a while, once in a great, great while. I do believe that the last visitation of Nibiru was what knocked Venus out of its twin orbit with us. That's just what I think. that planet that we call Mercury, I don't believe is actually a planet. I think is actually the moon of the original Venus. That's what I think it was. They got knocked off course. And that's why Venus doesn't have its rotation that it used to have. That's just my thought of it. Of course, NASA and other people would refute such a thing. Yeah. But it is a very valid thing. Now, whether or not there are people on that planet, it would, it's kind of huge. So I don't really know why anyone would assume that Earth is the only planetary body that has life on it. Okay, that's absolutely absurd. You, down, now.
Heath says they were swallows that crashed into the window, but none got harmed.
Okay, yeah, then that's just an accidental thing. That also means that you might get a visitation, you know, nothing bad or anything, just a visitation. So be alert.
Okay.
Okay, what do you got next?
Lucia asks, Charles Emmanuel Edwards is a spiritual being and a leader of the Rastafarian movement, and I have past life ties to him. He is truly a beautiful being, and I feel close to him. Can you tell me what is his relevance and message to me now? And is he going to incarnate into the form of my child?
That's something of a private nature, Stephen, that I would rather talk to you privately about. The show is usually for so that everyone can benefit from something, and that's a personal experience of yours that I don't think anyone else could really benefit from. You know, so we'll talk about that in private. Okay.
And Smiley says, thank you for explaining that the vibrations are good from the Himalayan salt.
No problem.
Co-author says, Z, you are awesome.
You too. You're all awesome.
Samantha says, why is astral travel dangerous?
Because there are astral beings that are put there for a reason that you should not be mingling with. And they will do anything and everything that they possibly can to get out of the astral realm without learning that message. And they will very gladly hitch a ride on you. And then you'll have problems eventually. It may not be at first. Sometimes it is at first. But it is not a realm that you should be in. I don't care what anyone tells you. I've had to retrieve people from the astral realm, and it was not fun. It wasn't cool. I didn't like it. And had to get entities off of them. See, the astral realms, those astral beings are very clever. They're a lot smarter than you think they are. Remember, there is no time or space in the astral realm, which basically means that they know what you're thinking if you happen to venture there. All of the thoughts are very, very apparent. This physical realm affords us some protection. In the astral realm, they can read you and then give you whatever answer you need to hear or want to hear. You could ask them if it's your dead relative speaking to you, and they can very easily say yes, and in the voice even of your dead relative. But yes to them means something entirely different than what it does to you, which basically means that you could be saying, yes, you can come and stay with me. And they will. Of course, they can't really take over your body. Your body is specific to you. Even when it comes to a demon, they can't really just take over your body without it deteriorating, because if you're not in control, then the universe has this magnificent fail-safe that will just deteriorate the body. It's just that way. But an astral being can coexist with you. And that's never a comfortable situation. When I have to send one of them back to the astral realm, it's never easy. It just isn't. You know, sometimes they pose as demons, you know, because they know you're afraid of them. Other times, they will cause people to do certain things to give them ways out. For instance, there's that wonderful thing they call a Ouija board, which no one should ever use, ever. Oh, but you may not like the name Ouija board, and people are actually getting rid of their Ouija boards. So why don't we call it Angel Oracle board or divination board. Okay, it still is the same thing, just without the whole weird symbologies. It still has all of the numbers, the letters, the symbologies, but just there are angels on it. That's like drawing an angel on something is going to change it from being evil. It doesn't work like that. Remember, there are those angels that are still angels, but they're fallen. Divinity is divinity, whether it's evil or good. It's still divinity. Is it divine evil? Is it divine good? It's still divinity. An angel is still an angel, whether it's an evil angel or a good angel. And really, we need to start getting that. So no, the astral realm is not a good place to be at all. You may think it is because, I can fly in the astral realm and I can receive all of these magnificent answers in the astral realm. But remember what I told you before? There's a rule of exchange that the universe put in place, and it is very valid. If you get something from the astral realm, they will get something in return. And that's the truth. So yeah, if I'm making you feel like it's all foreboding, you should not ever want to be involved with the astral realm, other than the fact that your astral body keeps your body together. The deterioration of your astral body's energy means the deterioration of your physical body's energy, and it will happen if you keep messing with the astral realm.
Awatra has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is Hollow Earth real?
Yes.
Hollow, H-O-L.
Oh, yes. Yes. There are places that are bigger than whole cities here, that are whole states that are underground.
That's not okay.
There's also people down there. If you believe that we're the only people here, seriously, you're deluding yourself.
Samantha says, amazing, thank you.
Very
Lucia
welcome.
says, I was driving in my car on the highway and a lot of times birds provide messages for me. However, I did have one fly into my windshield while I was driving. Not sure if it got harmed or not. Didn't see it drop and I believe it flew away. What is the meaning of this?
That means that there's something you're not paying. Which side? If it was, I think it was on the left side. Well, of course it was on the left side. So if it was the left side, then that means that you're not paying attention to something that is right near you. Okay? And something that needs to be taken care of immediately. No, not a health matter. No, not at all. It is a something else. Maybe you forgot something or that you were supposed to do that had to do with your family. Okay, so you might go over that.
Michelle says, hi there, you spoke of acknowledging negative energy and getting rid of it. How do you do that?
Well, it's very apparent. Negative energy is always there. You acknowledge the fact that there is negative energy, and there are steps that I have given you. This is Michelle Ayat, right? Mm-hmm. There are steps that I have given you to get rid of negative energy. Follow those steps. Remember, when all else fails, we follow the basics. Okay? Step 1. I now exercise from my mind all evil thought, all jealousy, suspicion, and hate, and I am filled with the pure light of divine love. Remember, getting rid of any negativity always starts with you. Check yourself. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? I am a spiritual being. I live in a spiritual world. I am evolving daily. Okay? Check yourself. Always do a check. Is there something that I am being negative about? No? Fine. Then there's something that someone else is being negative about. And I really don't want any part of that negativity. So I banish that negativity. And you can use whatever, however you choose to do it. This is what I say. I banish all negativity, all darkness, and all evil from my life in the name and nature of the Christ I know. As Jesus, so it is, so it is, so it is. Okay? And you do something simple like that. And I think that I've given you something simple like that. And that will start that negativity going out, getting away from you and yours. That's one way. Someone asked once, I received a question about a nightmare or a night hag. I call it the nightmare. If you go to the Unicorn Cove website on that, that is www.unicorn-cove.com, you'll learn the anti-nightmare spell, which is actually heaven and earth to my delight, shield and protect me against the night, keep the dark creatures away from me, cause the night sickness to flee.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just going to send them the link.
Yeah, just send them the link. Okay, and then you'll be able to learn that. Now, there are so many things that are given to us by people. Like a lot of people will use biblical verse. There's a few things in there in that Bible that are absolutely true and absolutely valid. One of them that I use even in my exorcisms is Psalms 91. And if you use that, it's not just that you want to be able to read it, you want to know it. In other words, you want to memorize it and you want to know it. Okay. Remember, Psalms 91 is very good for getting rid of negativity. Now, remember, the moment this is what falters, causes a lot of people to falter. The moment you decide to get rid of negativity, do you think it is going to like it? It's not going to like it. So it's going to react and things may happen. You have to expect that. Okay. You don't stop and then say, oh my God, things are happening because I decided to use this spell, so I better stop. No, that's not what you do. You renew your fervor, you renew your force, and you do it even harder to get that negativity out, to make it get out of your life, to make it get out of your mind, to get it out of your body, to make sure that it gets out of your home. Okay? You keep doing it. You do it with more force over and over again until that negativity is gone. Of course, there are things that may happen. You know, you hear creepy sounds, you start to feel creeped out, all of a sudden you get all of these reactions. It's just that way. Negativity never wants to leave you alone. You have to force it to leave you alone.
It's 8:13. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Questions.
Hope that helps you out. What do you got?
It just says, have had an experience where I transmuted a negative entity into a higher vibration energy entity. It was a powerful experience. Do you draw any significance or meaning from this?
Well, if you cause something negative to be positive, that means that you did a good job. There's nothing really to say about that other than you're doing exactly what you were put here to do. Okay. Because I've had instances of doing that as well, getting rid of a negative energy and, you know, causing it to be positive or transforming it into positivity. That's just what we all do on a daily basis. You have to do that in your everyday life because about 7 times, I'll say about 6.5 times out of 10, you will encounter something that could be potentially negative. It's up to you to transmute it, to transform it, even try to substantiate it into something of a positive nature. Or you can just leave it negative. If you can't deal with it, you can't transform it, then you need to banish it. Now remember, the steps are banishment, bless, or protect, bless, shield. Got it? I now banish all this negativity out of my life and out of my home. I now seal my life against negativity. I now shield my life against negativity. Remember, what sealing means that you include a blessing and say, only the spirit of life can reside with me. Only the spirit of joy can reside with me. Only the spirit of love can reside with me. We need to be very specific. Don't just say, well, you know, I did a binding spell, because if you're going to bind something, you'll actually bind it to you. Remember, it's your energy. Okay. We don't bind things. We banish things that are harmful to us. We get it away from ourselves and anyone else that it can do harm to. I'm not interested in binding anything. Okay. If there's something that you do want bound to you, it should be of a positive nature. I bind prosperity to me.
Bind some dollar bills to myself.
That's what you should do. Okay. Binding has been used incorrectly. You don't want to bind something negative to you. You want to bind something positive to you. So I hope that helps you out. What else have you got?
Bind some chopsticks to me because I want some Chinese food.
What?
Chinese food. Let me see. Kelly says, what does it mean when you feel intense pain in a dream? For example, I had a terrifying dream a few months ago where I stabbed myself with glass. There's a giant one stuck in my wrist, and I felt it as it was pulled out. I also felt the rubbing alcohol and tape being put over it. I felt everything so much that I woke up and checked my body. I was in shock for a few minutes.
Interesting. I would like to know what your day was like. You know, what happened just before that, because that's pretty traumatic. That could also be a psychic attack, someone focusing negativity on you. Okay, kind of sounds like that. Like someone actually focused a bit of negativity on you. Fortunately, you woke up out of that without it going too soon. Oh, by the way, can we get rid of a lot of the urban myths, please? That usually leads to people say, well, you know, if you fall in your dream, does that mean you die? No, I fall in my dreams an awful lot of times. Okay, I'm a very adept person when it comes to balance. However,
oh man, I would have been like so done.
You know, so that was a classic psychic attack. Yeah, that's what I think that was. Yeah, definitely. So you might look around for who could be focusing negativity on you. How long ago did this happen? I'd like to know that. By the way, those of you who choose to call it, you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. I should have said that about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, you should have said that at the beginning of the show.
That's okay. It's my show. I can say it now.
It is 8:18.
That's nice.
Shayna says, Psalms 91 is my go-to. I use the Bible all the time.
Good.
Samantha,
Hi, Shayna.
Samantha says, is there any truth to the Urantia?
Yes, there's truth to the Urantia, about as much truth as there is to the Bible.
What is this Urantia? Okay. I see. And that is it.
That's it?
And then...
And then?
and then.
Who wrote that?
Chinese food. How can I help you?
All right. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight on Ask the Unicorn. It is a good show. Please tell your friends about us so that I can answer more questions. I'm always looking to answer questions. Remember, the questions that I do answer need to be something that everyone can benefit from. If for those of you that would like a reading, I do readings. And I also teach paranormal development, psychic development. I also teach classes in mysticism and spirituality. However, I do not teach for free. There are circumstances in which I will work with a person. However, this is my job. This is my business. It is my life. And it's not my hobby. And if you want classes, I will give you classes. But remember, you only take classes from me if you actually do want to learn. Okay, and if you're actually looking to develop yourself. For those of you that would like to make a bunch of philosophical quotations, I'm really not interested. And I have turned down students, potential students before. However, you can go to our website. That is Unicorn Code School of Metaphysics. Again, that is www.unicorn-code.com. You can give us a call here at, or email here at www.asktheunicorn.com. Or give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. And when you do call, if no one answers the phone, will you please leave a message? Okay. If you don't leave a message, I will not call you back. Okay. I'm not going to call you. Okay. For those of you that I do speak to and that I do teach, remember, your questions are always, they're very, very important, but I would rather answer those personal questions in private, okay? And if you're looking for a reading, there are lots of people to get readings from in public. Having a reading is a very private affair. Unless I'm doing spot readings from time to time, I will offer something for people. This is all about learning and all about getting your questions answered that you don't get the opportunity to ask. So again, please tell your friends, let them know that there is a place that they can get answered, okay? So until next week, same unicorn time, same unicorn channel. I will see you all. Please be good to each other, okay? Try to have a positive week. And remember, wherever you are, there you are.
All right.
I'm Ahura Z for Ask the Unicorn. Have a great week. Unicorn out.